Mr. Chair, however, is about creating further trust in our vaccination system by assuring parents that the vaccines that they are having injected into their children are as safe as possible. Contrary to what you might hear in the opponent's testimony, this bill is not a ban. This bill is not a ban. It sets a preference for mercury-free vaccines in statute, but will allow the use of a mercury-containing vaccine if they're in times of shortage of supplies, or you might hear a little bit about in times of pandemic. In today's world, consumers have very significant access to information on the internet. They have access to information in the bookstores, and we simply can't continue to deny that there's a concern over vaccine safety. Mainstream media, if you look out there, Don Imus, he's talking about the concern over thimerosal and vaccines. Mothering Magazine is talking about the concern over thimerosal and vaccines. It's in Newsweek. It's even in my local newspapers. This is not something that we can continue to hide because people are paying attention. Plainly put, the issue is not going to go away. Some would suggest that if we put into law the finalizing the removal of mercury from vaccines, it's going to scare people away from vaccinating their children. And I just simply don't buy that argument.
Here or anything I've read, and I've read quite a bit about this the last 2 years, the importance of having thimerosal in injections and what it does for them. So I'm wondering why we're protecting that product when there is doubt about its safety. And two, I don't think there has been any research done on proving that thimerosal is safe, but there's enough research that's been done to show that thimerosal could cause health problems. So I'm wondering why the health community isn't saying, first of all, it's not obviously not an important ingredient in that in those inoculations, and secondly, the big controversy is out there that is causing people not to get their kids shots. I mean, if my kids were little now, I certainly wouldn't take a chance on it. From what I've read, I would never want my child, so I wouldn't get them injections if I couldn't find thimerosal-free shots. And I'd take the chance because I've seen too many cases of autism and other childhood health disorders that I would be worried. Whether it was logical or not, I would be worried. Why we have to move in this direction, and maybe it'll take legislation to move in the direction, because I would expect by now manufacturers would have been eliminating that. Obviously, they can eliminate it, and they've done it. Some of them have done it, and they've done it on some shots. So, shouldn't you be supporting this effort?
Well, you've raised a lot of issues, and I'll try to address a couple of them. First of all, there is no evidence that thimerosal is a danger. Now, I recognize that it is out there, it is in the media, and there is, when you hear the word mercury, there's tremendous confusion around, is this methyl mercury, ethyl mercury? Thimerosal happens to be a form of mercury that has never been scientifically proven to be associated with any untoward effect.
When I need clarification on right now, what information is disclosed, if any, when your child is being immunized or even for the influenza shots?
Any time we immunize, and I'll speak to a child because I'm in pediatrics, we discuss with the family the risks and benefits of the vaccine that they're given, and then it is mandated by law, and we follow that in my practice, that they get a vaccine information statement that's printed at a 4th to 5th grade reading level. It is in multiple languages, and they get clearly delineated information on the vaccine, what the disease that it's protecting them against, the potential side effects, numbers to call, how to reach us if they have any concerns or questions. And then we document that in the patient's medical record.
Kristen Walker.
Mr. Chair, I have a couple more questions for the department, but just on that note, We just have to be real about that one, because I get the shot. I get the influenza shot every year. I get the piece of paper that has all the little information on there. And the pressure that you have in a clinic to quickly read through it is very time sensitive. There is pressure that is just in the air because there's individuals outside in the clinic waiting to get their shot that you have to quickly read. So it's not being realistic about how many people are truly reading and comprehending and taking into the account that they can really ask for. Not even looking at the side effects that are possible, but the opportunity to get the information to be able to ask for a mercury-free vaccine is not realistic.
Sure, Mr. Chair and Doctor. I guess my question was, it seemed like several people used the word restriction in discussing this and the fear that there wouldn't be the vaccines available. But it's my understanding, and if perhaps I'm not reading the amendment correctly, but it says that no vaccine may be administered with thimerosal unless, and then it lists several exceptions, and then on line 1.15 and 1.16, it ends by saying, if none of these things are available, then the vaccine containing mercury may be administered. So I don't understand quite why that would restrict anything. And then my second question is, if someone could clarify me exactly what testing has been done, what research has been done on pregnant women as it relates to thimerosal, I'd appreciate that. Thanks.
Dr. Gersh?
First of all, I think the restriction would come in that we would have to try and make the effort to come up with that vaccine first, and we'd have to try to get that vaccine in ahead of time. We are making orders right now for our vaccine for the next year, and I don't know what's out there as far as vaccine-free, or I mean thimerosal-free, not thimerosal-free. And to try and guess how much of the thimerosal-free I would have to try and order versus the stuff that does have thimerosal in it would be very difficult to predict ahead of time. Also, if I have to, have the disclosure and tell every patient that thimerosal is present, it's going to take it even longer to go through the process, and we're going to have even more people waiting in line for that. As far as the pregnant women, I would have to look directly as far as that issue. I'm not familiar with the studies for pregnant women directly. But if you want, I'd be more than happy. If you want to give me your card, I'd be happy to look it up for you.
And Mr. Just to clarify for me on this point about pregnant women, and it's primarily now the flu shot, as I understand. Is that right? The concern is?
Right.
What are the circumstances under which pregnant women get flu shots? As I understand it, they're often recommended not to unless there's a particular reason to get the flu shot. Am I correct in that?
No, go ahead.
Dr. Gersh?
First of all, the recommendation for flu shot in pregnant women is after the first trimester. It's not recommended to give the flu shot during the first trimester when all the parts are being made. The first trimester is when the arms are being made, when the legs are being made, when the brain is being made. And so it is recommended not to give the flu shot during the first trimester. It's recommended to give the flu shot during the second and third trimesters if there's a health risk, say a pregnant woman who has asthma or something like that, or we offer it with the risk benefits, and it's up to the woman whether she wants to get it or not.
Thank you.
That point, Representative Peppin?
Mr. Chair and Doctor, that triggered something sort of interesting to me. I guess my question would be then, if it's not recommended for the first 3 months because body parts are being created, what are you scared of if there's no concern?
Dr. Gersh?
There is no data or concern about it. It's more that it's the best way to word it. I'm trying. It's not to overly concern the people. There is no concern about giving the shot during the first 3 months. But I suppose if you want to use the phrase that was used before, better to be safe than sorry. But there is no data showing that giving the shot during that time makes any effect.
Mr. Chair, I think he said it best, better safe than sorry.
Mr.